Hi, I am Eriksdotter, and I'm a spiritual teacher of White Näckros. I took the Psychic Awareness and Opening workshop over a decade ago. That's a long time ago. And it actually changed the trajectory of my life. And I wanted to share a little bit about what I was going through at the time, 10 years ago, but also where I am today. And I also want to talk a little bit about the workshop itself. So, as a 27-year-old, I think I was over 10 years ago when I took this workshop. Well, I should start probably with my childhood. So, to be honest, I had a lot of experiences growing up. I had that intuitiveness sense of, or the gut feeling of knowing exactly what somebody felt at the time. So if a classmate of mine was sad or, not feeling like themselves, I could feel exactly what they were feeling. I knew if they were hurt or in pain. I would know, that classic deja vu, I've been here before. I definitely had that, as many of you have had. And I would walk into places, or even if we were going somewhere as a family, or with my friends, I would know if I had been there before, or how that place felt. If I don't want to go into this building or this home. Something is telling me that I probably shouldn't be doing this. And I would also feel completely drained after meeting people. Those even if you're supposed to be meeting them or you're supposed to be like them, and after a conversation you would left completely drained, or with a headache, or So I had a lot of those experiences. I also had something where I was a swimmer for 10 years, and my parents would pick us up from swimming practice. This was my sisters and I were all three of us were swimmers. And going home often in the dark after school and stuff, we would drive home, and the lights were lit in the houses. They were preparing dinner. They were doing homework, or they were eating dinner. And I would look at these rooms or these houses, and I see the windows, and I would see the people in there, and I would, as if my physical body was in that room having dinner with them. That's how I was experiencing it. And that's what I was doing, except I was leaving my physical body, and I was jumping into these places and these homes, and I would know exactly what they were feeling and doing at the moment. If there had been an argument, or if it wasn't just a joyous dinner, And I would do this all the way home from swim practice. I was a swimmer for 9-10 years. So after doing this for many, many years, at the age of 27, it all came to a head. I'd been running everyone else's energies. I had been jumping into people's lives and bodies, and I would feeling their pain and thinking that this is all normal, first of all, which it is, because everyone is a psychic. Everyone is psychic, I should say, and it is normal. However, I did not have clear boundaries and protocol, which left me with dis-ease, right? It all came to a head eventually, because you can't, in my experience, I could not continue doing this. It was like I had, picture this. Picture spending 27 years of your life without taking a shower, without changing your clothes. That's exactly what I was doing, except it was a psychic shower that I desperately needed. I had spent my 27 years without clear boundaries, without psychic protocol, And it resulted for me in disease. And that meant I had debilitating migraines pretty much every single day at work in my corporate career, which definitely did not serve me well. I was second guessing everything in my life. I wasn't sure what next move to make, and I was going around, you know, the decision cul-de-sac where you just go around and around and you can't make up your mind, or you feel completely stuck with what you're doing. And you can't picture yourself in the future. You know, I had very clear hopes and dreams when I was a kid, and that was all. Like, I couldn't see anything. It was all a fog in front of me when I was picturing myself in the future. And then I was also completely overwhelmed. You know, I was bogged down by everyone else's and running everyone else's energy that I didn't know. First of all, what energy was mine? What emotions were mine? Why was I feeling so sad? And I would think to myself, I'm not a sad person. Why am I feeling so sad? You know, and it left me depleted. It left me completely exhausted. I didn't have any energy to do anything else but actually go home, crawl into bed, and watch the same old movies or series that was the track of my comfort food, basically. So I watched Pride and Prejudice. I watched North and South with Patrick Swayze. I don't know if anyone remembers that. So I did not recognize myself, and I sure did not know how to reach out and reach all those hopes and dreams that I had as a little kid. And also, I remember feeling, where is that gut feeling? Where is that voice in me that knows so well if this building doesn't feel good, if I can read somebody else's emotions, or if I was very self-assured because of that voice in me and that inner knowing, that inner teacher of me. And it was like I had lost it. So I was invited to the workshop after a personal session with Shui Young, who is also a spiritual teacher here at White Näckros. And it was a weekend workshop, so 10 to 6 on a Saturday and 10 to 6 on a Sunday, and it was in person. It was not too far away from where I lived, so it was great. However, I was so scared going there. Everything inside of me basically was running the other way, but there was a small part of me that said, "This is for you." And I was just clinging on to that sense of that little seed that said, or that little tiny voice so far away that said, "This is for you." And I held on to that, even though, you know, driving there, I wanted to turn around 1,000 times. You know, every minute I was, you know, I was checking my palms were sweaty, my heartbeat was racing, and I just said, I'm just going to give it a shot. I'm just going to do this and see what happens. And it was an amazing experience. Clearly, you know this because I wouldn't be here talking to you about it, but I think it's important to remember that everyone is psychic. And it takes bravery to be in that safe and sacred space to explore your psychic skills and learn clear boundaries and protocol when it comes to your psychic abilities. So I learned self-care. I learned how to take those psychic showers and clean myself off, and leaving that at the end of the Sunday that Sunday day, that full day workshop, at the end of the full weekend workshop, I felt more like myself. I felt like that kid who had it all figured out and who knew about emotions and who knew the next step to take to knowing that I knew that I was in the right place, that I was here for a reason. And more meaningful was that I had a sense of belonging. I had found a group and a community that was supporting and loving, who we were all working towards everyone else's best good. So we were working towards I was working towards my best good, what was in my best good, and everyone was doing the same in the group environment, which was very supportive. And that workshop changed my life. Since then it was I've done many personal sessions and many workshops, and also done the full interdimensional web working series twice, where I became a certified healer and spiritual teacher. So, I've done the work, and I'm continuing to do the work as a student of this earth and life itself. You're always a student. But that workshop is what it started. It started with that workshop. That was the beginning of the end for my debilitating migraines. It was, I'm a fine arts painter, and I sold my first painting at the age of 10. But for many years during that, in my 20s, I just struggled with the flow of my art. So I knew that I had it in me. I knew what I wanted to paint, and it just couldn't come out through my head to my arm to the brush. But after that workshop, it had cleared all that off. It had cleansed myself, so I had energy to do all that. It had energy, all the patterns that were related to that specific thing was gone. It was no longer serving me, and that's also what you do in the workshop. You cleanse all those patterns away and the blocks. And I couldn't stop painting. I was painting up a storm, and 6 months later I had enough to launch my company, my fine arts company, Studio Eriksdotter. And today, over 10 years later, I have art all over the world. So that workshop definitely changed the trajectory of my life, where I was able to kickstart that again, kind of doing CPR on my art. I've had since a successful PR and social media career. I've manifested being at home with my 2 children and working for my own businesses, so my Studio Eriksdotter, but also White Näckros. And having that sense of belonging and a sense of oneness, I know I have a support system in the other spiritual teachers here at White Näckros, in everyone in the family of White Näckros. There's a support system, and I no longer second guess things. I don't feel stuck. I have clarity, and I know what I want and what I need to reach my fullest potential. And that's my hope for you, to have via White Näckros, to have that clarity, to have that peace inside of you, to have that sense of belonging and a sense of the support from the community of White Näckros. This psychic awareness and opening is a workshop where you'll explore your own abilities as you learn discernment, how to create clean boundaries, and how to trust your inner guidance. And you do all this in a very safe and sacred space with a loving group environment. So I invite you to claim the seat, your seat, at the table of authentic spiritual integrity. This workshop is for you if you wish to hone your discernment skills, trust your inner teacher, and have clear and deeper connection to source. It's for you if you want to stand in and for your truth, but by awakening and reclaiming conscious use of your sensory intelligence. And I also want to say that this class is fun. You know, it's hard to trust somebody who says that something is fun without, you know, seeing proof of that. But I want you to trust that little seed inside of you that says that is the truth I speak. The class is fun. I have taken any class by the White Näckros teachers are a lot of fun. Colette, Cherie, and Amy, they are a hoot. They are the funniest people I know, and there's a lot of laughter in this workshop in particular. There's a lot of work. We honor the work, and together we hold space, and so you can explore and fulfill your potential and what is in your best good. But it's a lot of laughter and sometimes a lot of crying as well, because we heal, and the whole workshop is a lot of healing. So that's 16 hours of constant healing and you know, learning a lot and practicing as we go. So it's hands-on practice, and you get to meet your spiritual guides sometimes, and you know, you get to practice what a lie tastes like, and I think my favorite part of every workshop is just seeing the difference in the people who attend the workshop. So the students itself, from the beginning of meeting them maybe for the first time to the end when they're leaving, and you have formed those bonds and that the belonging, and you just know that you know these people on a much, much deeper level, and it's very, very meaningful. I also want to share that, you know, from me taking this workshop many, many times, even though it doesn't come around very often, the workshop itself will meet you where you are in life. And every workshop I've taken, it deepens the sense of evolvement for me, but it also meets me where I am in my evolvement. So every workshop that you take, even though if you're new at spiritual teaching, or if you're new at spirituality, or you know, or you're just beginning your path of mindfulness or spirituality, or you know, and you want to do this workshop, it meets you where you are. It also is for you who is a practiced spiritual, has a practice already for spirituality. You know, maybe you're a meditative, or you're already practicing and honing your psychic skills. This is also for you, because like I said, the workshop will meet you where you are in your involvement. Every workshop I've taken of the psychic awareness and opening has been profound for me. It has healed me where I am and what needs to be healed at that moment, what is rising up to be healed, ready to be healed. But it also teaching me something new every single time, not just one thing, but many, many things. So it's a great workshop. And the founder, Shirley Resler, is an amazing spiritual teacher, and this workshop has been channeled down to us, and this is the first class and the prerequisite for the full interdimensional webworking series, which has 6 classes in total, and is very, very extensive, and also a joy to attend. So you'll see the link to attend, and enrollment ends on May 25th to enroll in this current class or workshop. So I hope you check it out. And email us at info@whitenäckros if you have any questions about this workshop. And thank you. And yes, claim your seat. Claim your seat at the table of authentic spiritual integrity. If this is for you, you know it, and listen to that little seed inside of you. Thank you.